Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash of Clans. Really excited today to share with you some really amazing air raids. They're all going to be Queen Walks with LALOON, and I'm going to share Town Hall 11, Town Hall 10, and Town Hall 9. Now, if you're only interested in a specific Town Hall level, I will go ahead and timestamp all these attacks in the description below, and also make sure you stay tuned to the end of this episode because this will be the official first video where we get to hear from you guys. So in case you missed my previous episode, long story short is for a long time I've been wanting to find a way to get you guys more involved in my channel, and the idea is a new segment where you guys give me your feedback or questions or comments or critique, anything, or even channel shoutouts or clan shoutouts. I'll listen to it all and I'll share as much as I can with you guys. So this will be the first episode where we have that segment at the end of the video, and every single episode after this will also have it. So you can see we're already watching our very first attack, and as I said, all of these attacks will involve queen walks, rather long and intricate and complicated queen walks, and we're going to kind of break them down as we go through these replays. And I do also have some very interesting observations about the enemy clan here, the attacking clan, Destroyers. I believe they're an Italian clan, don't quote me on that, but either way they were very good. At least half of their attacks were just like this, queen walks leading into LALOON. And kind of catching up to this replay here, guys, there's a few things that I really want to focus on in terms of strategy. There's actually tons of things that you could focus on this attack, but specifically I want to talk about why headhunters entered in the base from 6 o'clock, A, and B, I wanted to really point out and remind you guys how much of a commitment he made to the first phase of this attack, both in terms of time and in terms of resources in troops and certainly spell slots here. And look at all the damage and real estate he was able to clear out of this base just using the queen walk with a little assist from the king towards the end of it there. And what I really want to talk about, like I said, is why the attacker chose that entry point on this base. You guys already know the objectives to LALOON attacks, to air attacks. You want to clear out the clan castle, you want to take down the enemy queen, and ideally at Town Hall 10, especially unless you're rocking like a Penta LALOON against a trophy base, ideally you want to, if at all possible, take out one of the Inferno towers as well. And the only area that he was going to be able to keep his queen alive throughout that entire checklist of objectives was entering in from 6 o'clock and triggering the clan castle with a couple of giants. I believe he used giants at the beginning to go ahead and lure the clan castle to the queen. That was able to keep the queen in a relatively safe position as she systematically cleared out each of those objectives. The clan castle, the Inferno tower, the enemy queen, and 2 air defenses, and it cost him a lot too. He used 3 rage spells on that queen walk, as well as the Eternal Tome ability, so definitely expensive. He was able to save the queen ability, the Royal Cloak, and if he had to use it early on, I'm sure he would have. Obviously, keeping that queen alive is absolutely paramount to a successful 3-star attack. Now, this next raid, guys, by the way, notice anything strange over here? Granted, it's far from a maxed out Town Hall 10, but it has the Inferno towers down, and look at this, guys, it's a Town Hall 9 LALOON attack against a Town Hall 10, and it is obviously, spoiler alert, going to be a 3-star attack. This is going to be another really impressive attack. This time, obviously, triggering that clan castle and taking out 1 air defense with the Barbarian King's sacrifice. Then he's going to let this queen walk for quite a bit, and by quite a bit, I mean basically all day, because this queen walk is going to go on for another full minute before he deploys any air troops. So essentially, he's going to let this queen walk all the way to around 9 o'clock, wall break her in. She's going to start engaging that little compartment there, and then slowly make her way towards the center of the base, towards that enemy archer queen, and then he's going to come in opposite side with the air portion of the attack. And another little spoiler alert here, guys, he actually swags this free spell here. Granted, only a level 1 free spell, but doesn't even need it on this raid. Coming from a Town Hall 9, this is a heck of an impressive attack here. So the queen gets dangerously low on HP at this point, but luckily she targets that elixir collector and she stays put for a while, allowing those healers to catch up to her. So here's something you'll definitely want to take note of. You can see he used that rage spell to get the queen up to full health, but he also made sure he waited on those last wall breakers to make sure he used them after the rage was already down. If you ever want to use your wall breakers ever to crack open an interior wall, you always have to use rage spell. I mean, obviously there are some very rare circumstances circumstances where you clear out a whole area. I think we actually saw that on the previous raid, one of those rare circumstances. But most cases, if you want to open up an interior wall, use the rage on the healers and the queen, and then sneak those wall breakers in. Side note, only need 3 wall breakers if you're going to have them under rage. So look at this here. I mean, didn't even need the freeze spell. Plenty of balloons left alive here. In the first attack, we kind of went over the entry point and how the attacker decided to enter in from where he did. And on this second attack, I kind of want to flip the script and focus on why the attacker came in opposite end with the LALOON portion, the back end portion of the raid. And you know what? In hindsight, it's pretty obvious if you rewind and go take a look, but it really comes down to 2 things. One is the air sweeper location, and the other is the Inferno Tower. He needed to take down that northern Inferno Tower, and me personally, I would have used a freeze spell on that first Inferno Tower right after the balloons got in range of it, but of course, didn't even need it. But taking out the Inferno Tower was absolutely essential, A, and B, the air sweeper would have interfered with the raid had he entered in any other location on that attack. So here we are, guys, with the 3rd raid of the day. Now we're at Town Hall 9. I am going to show another Town Hall 9 raid after this one. This is definitely another absolutely fantastic attack here. You can see interesting army composition, 16 minions. 16 minions. That's a lot of minions. You're going to see how the attacker uses them both in the beginning and the end of this raid. On the next raid, guys, I'm going to go ahead and answer that question in the new segment, and we'll watch another raid in the background. So this will be the last raid that I provide commentary for. And you can see, again, this is a very similar theme throughout all these 3 attacks, guys. The attacker is going to invest very, very heavily on these very long queen walks. And in this replay, guys, continuing with our 1 strategy theme per raid in this video, I didn't really intend to do that, but it's actually working out pretty well. I want to talk a little bit about how these, the queen walk nerf, how the air traps triggering onto healers now is affecting queen walks. And this is actually a perfect example of highlighting how it has indeed given a small nerf to queen walks. You'll see that the attacker here ends up losing a bunch of his healers throughout this elongated queen walk that actually goes into the base. It's kind of a hybrid queen walk, queen charge type attack. And you'll see here in just a second, I think he's going to lose his first, he already lost his first healer. And he brought 5 healers for that very reason, because if you're at Town Hall 9 and you plan your queen walk to go into a base, deep into a base, I'd strongly advise taking 5 healers instead of 4, because listen, you're going to lose a healer or 2 if you go into the core of the base with your healers. So just be safe rather than sorry. Bring 5 healers and you should be okay. Even if you lose 2 of them, you can still rage up or use the Queen's Royal Cloak ability if worse comes to worse. And you can see here already at 43%, he's starting to put a couple minions on those 2 gold storages. That is going to take the most time to take down because of the hit points. Speaking of hit points, the queen is getting through the clan castle and that elixir storage and then engaging the enemy queen right after that, so the attacker chooses to use his last rage spell on the queen. So look at this point, all the rage spells have been used on the queen. He even used a jump spell to help get the queen through the base. So all the spells except for 1 haste spell are going to be used on the actual queen walk, and then he deploys his 2 lava hounds coming from both directions, making sure he triggers any remaining air traps there, and then basically just trickling in the balloons, 14 balloons only. A very well planned and executed air portion of this attack, not using any more or any less balloons than he needed to at any given area, holding back a couple balloons if he needs to. You can see there's only an Expo, Air Sweeper, and Inferno Tower left on the map, and just a second all of them will be down, as well as both the heroes still at full health. Didn't even need the Queen's Royal Cloak ability, although he could have used it had he needed to in that long queen walk there. So let's go ahead and put on another attack here, and then start the audio recording, the first one ever submitted by one of you guys. So here it is.
Hi Ash, this is Blue from Red Destroyers. Clan tag is 2PG8GY9. You're always trying to bring us new content and new ideas, and this is a great one. Also, thanks for showing us some fail videos. I just got to Legend League, and I just got my miners to the max level. So, I guess my question is, what should I avoid doing? What mistakes can I not make? Thank you.
Alright guys, well thank you Blue for that great question, and shout out to your clan Red Destroyers, and also congratulations on Legends League, man. That's a huge accomplishment. You should be proud of yourself. So I think you're asking, referring to miners, what mistakes can you not make regarding miner attacks. So grats on your max miners, and with any new strategy, just some general basic tips when you're starting any new strategy for the first time, whether it be miners or bowlers or LALOON like we saw in today's video. I always suggest two things. Number one is practice friendly challenge a lot. You'd be surprised how much even 2 or 3 hours total of practicing friendly challenges again and again and again with an attack can really give you a very healthy feel for the attack strategy. And tip number 2, when you're ready to actually do a clan war attack using the new strategy, in your case it's going to be a miner attack, make sure you aim lower than you normally would on the opponent's war map. So basically, if you're a Town Hall 11 when you just got your max miners and this is your very first miner attack ever, set yourself up for success. Make sure you plan well and then hit pretty low. Hit a newer Town Hall 11, maybe a level 1 Eagle Artillery, maybe level 3 Inferno Towers, and that will make a big difference. Now, in terms of mistakes, also another big tip when choosing your base is if there's any Town Hall 11s in the enemy clan that have single target Inferno Towers, that is a miner attacker's absolute best case scenario. So go ahead and take advantage of single target Inferno Towers and select those bases. If you use Clash Caller or whatever calling system you have, make sure you get in on those attacks first with your mass miner attacks. So in terms of mass miners in general, what mistakes do people commonly make? Well, you can watch my most epic pathetic fail ever video, which was the one that you already obviously saw if you knew to email me your question. But that was a really big mistake on my part. I was sloppy, it wasn't well planned, I didn't use my heal spells fast enough, I should have been able to adjust on the fly, so don't be afraid to use your spells would be my first piece of advice, of basic advice for a first time miner user at Town Hall 11. So if you have to use your heal spells and your rage spells very early on, or if you're taking all heal spells, certainly do so. Make sure you at least get the 2-star, and then you can worry about changing things for your next attack and making it hopefully a 3-star. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for submitting it. I actually got over 50 emails of audio questions, guys, so I'm going to get as many of them as I can. Maybe some episodes we'll do 2 or 3, and maybe we'll do a special mailbag episode. So guys, continue with your questions, please. I will take the ones that are the best quality and audio quality and content quality. So guys, email me at cwabasedesign@yahoo.com. You can give a clan shout out, a YouTube channel shout out, a podcast shout out. You can give a clan shout out. You can ask me a question, or you can critique something that I shared in one of my videos. Just keep it constructive, keep it clean too, guys, if you could. And thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it, guys. And as always, take care, guys.